Vocabulary, key terms and people. War hawks, those who wanted war with Britain. Andrew Jackson, in charge of the American troops in Georgia. Henry Clay, House of Representatives leader from Kentucky. Samuel Smith, Major General, took charge during attack at Baltimore. James Madison, President from 1809 to 1817. Molly Madison, James Madison's wife, and took important documents from the White House before it was burned down. Fort McHenry, the fort that defended Baltimore. Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner.
In the early times of the War of 1812, the British had blockaded the U.S. coast. The U.S. was furious, so to combat this, they went out to battle in the sea. A key player in these sea battles was the USS Constitution, nicknamed Old Ironside because of its strong sides made of 2-foot thick wood. Ironsides defeated one of the most powerful British warships. In July of 1812, General William Hull invaded Canada with U.S. troops, but they soon retreated. On their way back, General Isaac Brooke and Indians with the British troops trapped the U.S. soldiers and forced them to surrender. They then captured 2,000 Americans. But the U.S. didn't back down, with Commander Oliver Hazard Perry in charge of the ships on Lake Erie. He fought and won a 3-hour battle at Put-in Bay and won the lake. The British set sail for Baltimore and attacked Fort McHenry by ship on the night of September 13, 1814. In the morning, the flag was still standing, and the U.S. won the battle.
Even though Britain agreed to stop seizing American merchant ships and stop supplying Native Americans in the Northwest with guns and supplies, they didn't. This lasted for about 4 years. Britain told the U.S. they would continue impressing sailors and Native Americans, who began attacking settlers in the Northwest. By June, the U.S. had finally had enough and declared war against Britain. In Madison's letter to Washington, he said, "British cruisers have practiced the act of violating the American flag on the water, seizing ships and taking sailors. The British has attacked Washington while Dolly Madison was getting ready for her dinner with her friends at the White House. She was advised to leave immediately in her carriage. Before she left, she grabbed important documents, papers, and photos before the White House was burned down. She stated, 'The last is alarming. He desires I should be ready at moment's warning to enter my carriage and leave the city.' Then she said, 'We have a battle or skirmish near Bladensburg, and here I am still within the sound of the cannon.'" Fort McHenry bombarded the British ships on September 13, 1814. Francis Scott Key watched the attacks, and at dawn he saw an American flag still standing. The Americans have beaten off the attack. On an envelope, he wrote a poem he called the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1931, Congress made it the national anthem.